As a huge Pink Floyd fan, I was thrilled to be hired to work on the wall.
Hello, is there anybody in there? Just not if you can hear me. Is there anyone home?
No, not that wall. And yes, I'm a musician, but first and foremost, I'm an artist. I've worked on some pretty interesting projects over the years, one of which was a 3-story mural. A very wealthy client of mine, a real estate broker, asked me to paint one for him. Here it is. He was building a house with a custom indoor climbing wall for the buyer's children, which he wanted me to paint to look like a giant cliff wall. It was a beautiful mansion with a sub-basement to accommodate the 3-story recreation center. He sent me pictures of what the contractors were building, and the project looked like a challenge. I created a digital mock-up for him to show what the wall would eventually look like. The finished climb wall had multiple faces to climb on, and they provided me with a precarious scaffold to work from. It took the contractors some time to complete the wall, and I was amazed when I first saw what they had built. My goal was to paint the mural to look like a rough textured rock wall. When they were finished, finally, he gave me the green light to start. I wanted to make it look like the top was far away, extending hundreds of feet to a distant cliff top, high enough to have clouds drifting by. It took me a couple of months to finish because the mansion was an hour and a half drive both ways, and I was adding a lot of detail to add realism. When I completed the project, they added a climbing net to separate the climbing wall from the trampoline, and completed the wall with various grips to enable climbing. The floor was covered with deep layer of foam pit cubes to provide a soft landing if needed. All in all, it was quite a unique rec room for his buyer's kids. That was quite the project. But I think he was just testing me for a bigger project. One a little closer to home. His home. He was building a mansion for his family and wanted a recreation room for his kids that was even more elaborate than the first mural I did for him. His contractors built this incredible climbing wall with multiple faces. Once again, I created a simulation for future reference for painting and to show him what I would try to make his project look like. After completion, I made this short video calling it
The Wall of the Mountain King.
Here goes. He actually had a slide coming down from the upper floors that I didn't shoot, which emptied out on this side of the mural. He wanted several details included, which added a personal touch to the project, like a tree with his and his wife's name carved in it, and a signpost indicating fictitious destinations for his kids. The cabin had a shaft leading down to a tunnel, but more on that later. The holes you see in the surface are for the multiple handhold grips to be added when the mural was completed. The mural took me several months to complete because it was during the winter. The property was under construction, which meant no electricity and no heat. I had to run extension cords in from the same power source the construction crew was using to get lights and power for my airbrush compressor. There were some days it was just too cold to work, but it would be colder up there, if it was real. Some more details he built into it were the caves, which I found were only big enough for kids when I tried to paint the inside. His daughter wanted a castle. I even used glow-in-the-dark paint for nighttime viewing. This area was for a trampoline that they added padding to later. The tunnel I referred to earlier was designed to run underneath it. It doesn't show it in the video, but the tunnel ran all the way around the front of the foam pit, several feet from the bottom of the slide. And if you entered it there and followed it all the way around, the tunnel exit comes out at the cabin. One of the hardest parts of painting this mural was going up and down the dreaded 3-story scaffolding, especially the upper parts. Everything was hand painted except for the airbrush clouds at the top, so imagine climbing the wall with all the paraphernalia needed. Air compressor, various colored paints, brushes, etc. Quite the job from start to finish. But the end result was amazing. I have wanted to go back and have some fun in that room, as well as tour the completed mansion. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe.